Hello again team, it's Jess or Jeshikaran on behalf of the Art and Olive Design team, and today we're going to be discussing how to keep up with your bullet journal, or more specifically, how to identify why you might not be keeping up with your journal and some possible ways around this. This video does have a related blog post on the Art and Olive website, so if you're watching on YouTube, do make sure to check out the link in the description to that post. While in this video, we've mainly got an overview of the reflection you can do to identify why you aren't keeping up and some ways forward, there's even more detail and tips over on that blog post, along with a free printable of the reflection prompts we'll be discussing. Jumping in though, a question for you. Do you ever look at pictures or videos of fully filled journal spreads and trackers online, only to catch yourself thinking, why don't my layouts look that full? Or how do they stay so motivated to use their journals? I've certainly felt that way myself. I've had slumps, periods of demotivation, and even a point where I considered switching out of the system altogether. But through some specific reflection on why I was finding keeping up with my journal difficult, I was able to remedy those issues. Reflection is a hugely powerful tool when we do it in a meaningful way. And the reflection process that we're going to look at to help us keep up with our journals is broken into several parts, namely the purpose, the intention, and the execution. And yes, I may have selected these terms because they spell out the word pie. For the purpose stage of our reflection, we're thinking about what our reasons are for having the journal. Why are you keeping it? And what do you want to achieve through doing this? For some people, keeping up with their journal will be more difficult because the things that they're doing or including in the journal don't actually align with that purpose. You might be including unnecessary spreads or trackers that don't really lend themselves to the journal's purpose, meaning you're spending time and energy on things that may not actually be all that important to you. To help you start your purpose brainstorming, people will commonly use their journals as a task list, a place to plan and track their progress towards their goals, a creative outlet, or as a memory keeping system. These are just some ideas, but clearly defining your why can also help motivate you to stay consistent in your journal. Some people may also like to put their why, or a statement of the journal's purpose, somewhere that's easily referenceable. For example, I have this page in my long-term collections journal to help remind me specifically of what this journal is for. The next section of our reflection is the intention portion, or considering what your intentions are for keeping up in your journal. What does keeping up actually mean to you? What does this look like in terms of what you do on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis? What does the end result of your consistency in your journal actually look like? The more specific you can be here, the easier it will actually be to identify when you are keeping up versus when you're not. An additional thing to consider is also why you consider keeping up to look that way. Is it just because you've seen pictures on social media that lead you to believe that keeping up means everything should be 100% filled in? Or does having things filled in to that level of completion actually lend itself towards fulfilling the purpose of the journal? Again, having a meaningful reason behind why you want to stay consistent to this level is going to help you reach that level of consistency. Once you know the purpose of your journal and what you consider consistency to look like, it's time to see how these line up with your current reality, or what I call the execution stage of our reflection. How does your current execution of your journaling practice align with the purpose and intentions you have for it? Is the time and energy you're spending on your journal actually going towards the purpose that you specified for it? An example of this would be if you're using your journal as a creative outlet, but none of your setups are actually allowing you to exercise that creativity. Similarly, you might be spending a lot of time doing a lot of decoration in your journal, but your journal's primary purpose might be for organization. That's not to say that you can't have a journal that's both decorative and helps you with organization, but some people do find that getting caught up with decoration distracts them from another purpose their journal is supposed to have, which can lead them to not keeping up with it. In this stage of the reflection though, you should also consider other things that are contributing to you not keeping up with your journal. While these reasons will be different for each individual person, some common examples include finding filling in your journal overwhelming, boring, or tiresome, not having the time to actually use it, not having layouts that suit your needs, and not liking the way your journal looks. I know personally, I don't like the way my spreads look. I am way less inclined to use them. The more specific you can be about the reasons that you're not keeping up with your journal, the easier it will be to find solutions. Make sure you take the time you need to get to the root of this issue. There may be multiple things contributing to you not keeping up. Once those reflection stages are complete, it's time to plan how we're actually going to tackle the problem. Take some time to brainstorm possible solutions to the reasons you've identified for not keeping up with your journal. While there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to keeping up with your journal, some possible examples could be finding that you have too many layouts to fill in, which you could solve by downscaling the number of layouts you set up each month. This could also help if you feel like you don't have time to fill in your journal each month, but another possible solution would be to make layouts that are more simple or straightforward to fill in. If you're finding that you aren't remembering to use your journal, you could try setting an alarm on your phone to do your journaling at a specific time each day. These are just some examples, and you can find more detail and more examples on the blog post that accompanies this video. Again, that one's linked in the description box. Question of the day for you though, what's something that you do to help stay consistent in your journal? I personally like to make sure I leave mine on my desk while I'm working, so I can quickly reference it and fill things in throughout the day. But we'd love to hear your ideas as well. Hopefully you're ready to do some reflection to help you keep up with your journal, and if you enjoyed this video, do make sure to give it a big thumbs up. As always team, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!